Life is a constant process of dying. Compassion is the basis of morality. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. The safest way of not being very miserable is not to expect to be very happy. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Faith is like love, it does not let itself be forced. Life swings like a pendulum backward and forward between pain and boredom. To feel envy is human, to savor schadenfreude is devilish. Music is the melody whose text is the world. Reading is thinking with someone else's head instead of one's own. We seldom think of what we have, but always of what we lack. No rose without a thorn. Yes, but many a thorn without a rose. The two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. Night gives a black look to everything, whatever it may be. We seldom speak of what we have but often of what we lack. Buying books would be a good thing if we also could buy the time to read them. After your death, you will be what you were before your birth. Life is short and truth works far and lives long. Let us speak the truth. Everyone takes the limits of his own vision for the limits of the world. Animals hear about death for the first time when they die. Men are the devils of the earth, and the animals are its tormented souls. That I could clamber to the frozen moon, and draw the ladder after me. No one writes anything worth writing, unless he writes entirely for the sake of his subject. For where did Dante get the material for his hell, if not from this actual world of ours? Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Mostly it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. Happiness consists in frequent repetition of pleasure. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. One should use common words to say uncommon things. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. A sense of humor is the only divine quality of man. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsocial. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Universal compassion is the only guarantee of morality. Hope is the confusion of the desire for a thing with its probability. No rose without a thorn, but many a thorn without a rose. Marrying means to have one's rights and double one's duties. The shortness of life, so often lamented, may be the best thing about it. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. We can regard our life as a uselessly disturbing episode in the blissful repose of nothingness. Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection. Wealth is like sea water. The more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. If we were not all so interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. He who writes carelessly confesses thereby at the very outset that he does not attach much importance to his own thoughts. The business of the novelist is not to relate great events, but to make small ones interesting. Ordinary people merely think how they shall spend their time. A man of talent tries to use it. What a man is contributes much more to his happiness than what he has or how he is regarded by others. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and double one's duties. Any foolish boy can stamp on a beetle, but all the professors in the world cannot make a beetle. If God made this world, then I would not want to be the God. It is full of misery and distress that it breaks my heart. To find out your real opinion of someone, judge the impression you have when you first see a letter from them. For the world is hell, and men are on the one hand the tormented souls and on the other the devils in it. Solitude will be welcomed or endured or avoided, according as a man's personal value is large or small. Marrying means to grasp blindfolded into a sack hoping to find out an eel out of an assembly of snakes. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as self-evident. Thus, the task is not so much to see what no one yet has seen, but to think what nobody yet has thought about that which everybody sees. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. There is no more mistaken path to happiness than worldliness. To be alone is the fate of all great minds, a fate deplored at times, but still always chosen as the less grievous of 2 evils. Whatever torch we kindle, and whatever space it may illuminate, our horizon will always remain encircled by the depth of night.